G'day golfers. Well, today is all about learning. Learning more from your mistakes, learning more from your time on the driving range, learning more from your poor shots out in the golf course. Feedback is generally limited to good shot or bad shot. And we can do better than that. We can learn more from just watching the golf ball in the air and working out what's happened. Now, if you like this video, then please hit that like button. We'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. We've got the button there and the little bell in the corner for your notifications every time we bring out a new video. Welcome to Aussie Golf Pros. What I'm going to do here is hit a number of different golf shots. I've got a 6-iron in hand. And by different golf shots, I mean right, left, pushes, fades, draws, pulls, try and hit a couple of straight ones. And the point is we're going to get into the habit of giving us some quality feedback from each of those shots. Nothing technical here. You might be working on something technical with your coach. Encourage you to keep doing that. We're all striving for better movement patterns, more power, more consistency. But what is really missing from a lot of people's learning, a lot of golfers learning, is just the simple feedback of what's happening at impact. So the sort of questions we're going to be asking ourselves, they aren't technical questions, they're facts, they're factual questions, impact questions. What part of the club hit the golf ball? What was the swing path? What was the direction of the swing? What was the club face doing at impact? Was it open? Was it square? Was it closed? And club face is probably the most important one. Club face is king. Club face is going to have 80% of control over the direction of your shot. A minimum, there's sometimes more. So let's hit some golf shots and ask ourselves those simple questions, impact questions, and let's see if we can learn more from watching the golf ball fly. All right, so the target is the 200-meter sign in the distance. I won't be hitting my 6-iron anywhere near that far. But let's have a look and see what direction this first shot goes. So it's off to the left there a little bit. Not a great deal, around about 6 or 7 meters to the left, but it went straight there. So first question is, how did I strike it? Slightly out the toe, but it wasn't too bad. And bearing in mind that there are only 3 things that are going to cause the ball to go offline. That's right, only 3. Where on the club face you strike the golf ball, so let's keep it nice and simple. We've got a 6-iron, not a driver, so we're not getting into gear effect today. We'll talk about that another day. So if you hit it right off the end here, it'll go, for a right-hander, hit it right off the tip of the club, it's going to go out to the right. Hit it out the hosel here, it'll go out to the right. Hit it out the heel, it'll go to the left. You catch anywhere on the grooves, then you're going to get a fairly consistent shot. You might lose distance if you're not on the sweet spot, for sure. And we want to obviously hit as many shots out the sweet spot as we can. But if we're focusing much more on direction today, then as long as you get it somewhere out of the grooves, you're not going to get any weird results from that. So the other 2 questions, redirection, swing path. Well, it's gone straight to the left. So that tells me that my swing path was out to in, across the ball, to the left, whatever you want to call it. But it didn't curve. And if a shot isn't curving, as long as you struck it okay, which I did, then that means the club face is square. Can't be open, can't be closed, it's gone dead straight there, so it must be square. So that's quality feedback that I've just garnered from those questions. Did I strike it okay? Yes. Where did it start and finish? It started and finished on the left-hand side, so I must have pulled the shot. Out to wing swing path. Let's hit another one. I'm going to hit some different shots here so that we can ask and answer some different questions. All right, same setup though. Let's see if I can get this one to go to the right. There we go. Pushed to the right. It's not fading. It's gone straight out to the right-hand side, about 12 meters offline. So that's an in to out swing path. In fact, if I have a look at my divot there, I can see that that's pointing out to where the ball's gone. That makes absolute sense as well. Swing path was in to out. I did that on purpose, but obviously out in the golf course, we all hit shots offline. And it's about working out why a ball goes where it goes. And anyone can do this. Doesn't matter if you're off 7 or 37, you can train yourself to understand ball flight and to work out why the ball goes where it goes. Both of those shots went offline because of swing path. The first one out to in, the last one in to out. Or if you prefer, swinging to the left and then swinging to the right. Let's see if we can hit a couple of shots that go offline because of the club face being open or closed. Same setup again. Now we see that one curving to the right-hand side. Not a great deal. It's faded off there to the right-hand side. So that tells us that the club face was open. I struck it okay. It was out of the grooves. Might not have been quite out the sweet spot, but it was definitely good enough to get a consistent result from. And because the ball curved, that tells us the face was open. Curving to the right, there's your fade shot. I haven't changed the swing path. I've still swung pretty much towards the target. I'm not on a launch monitor, so we can't measure that, but the golf ball is telling us all that we need to know here. It started just right of target and then faded off, and that's what an open club face is going to produce. A ball that starts right and then curves further right for a right-hander. Right, now obviously I'm doing all of these shots on purpose, but we know they often happen to all club golfers out there. In fact, a lot of professionals as well. Let's see if I can hit it with a closed face and produce a draw. There we go. Well to the left actually. And curving to the left, definite closed club face. I struck it okay. I didn't pull that shot. That's what a lot of people think. The ball starts left for a right-hander and they think they've pulled it. I didn't pull that shot. It was just purely club face. Remember, club face is king, and club face is often going to determine the direction a shot goes. We just need to work out whether it's curving there or going straight there. And that gives us the feedback that we need. All right, let's have a crack at a straight one. No pressure. After hitting all of those shots, I should be pretty aware of what my club face is doing through impact and what my swing path is as well. So no excuses. And pretty straight, just off to the right-hand side. Club face was open, maybe half a degree, 1 degree. Wasn't much. Would have been on the green, a decent shot. So this type of practice, this creative practice, actually helps you to hit it straighter. By hitting offline shots on purpose, then you're really gaining awareness of what the swing path is doing through impact and what the club face is doing through impact. And it's much more fun, it's much more challenging with your practice. Adam Young calls it differential practice. Okay, I call it creative practice, whatever you want to call it. We're not just hitting the same shot over and over again. We're not just hitting to the same target with the same club. We've got to be more creative and more effective with our practice. And hitting these types of shots on purpose, draws and fades and pushes and pulls, doesn't matter if you're off a low handicap or a high handicap, this is going to help you with your awareness and your feel and your control over what the club is doing through impact. We're not talking about technique. You keep working on your technique with your coach and keep trying to generate more consistency and more power for sure. What we're talking about here are ball flight laws and how you can control them. All right, let's hit one more shot. Now, what I'm going to add here is that faded off to the right ever so slightly, so that tells me that the club face was slightly open. I'm not going to consciously adjust anything. I'm going to try to hit another straight shot. Remember, your brain is a supercomputer. Give your subconscious mind the opportunity to improve what that club face has done. We're talking about up to a degree at most for that type of shot. If I start manipulating, all right, and telling myself the face was open, I've got to close it a little bit more on the next one, I'm going to hit it left. We're talking about less than a degree here. Give your subconscious mind, remember, it's a supercomputer. Give your subconscious mind the opportunity to make those adjustments, those micro adjustments, purely based on just the input, the feedback that you're giving yourself, and hit some better shots just with some quality feedback. And you're capable of doing it. All right, so the last one was a little bit open. I'm not going to change anything consciously. I'm just going to set up to the target exactly the same, hit as straight as I can. Funnily enough, that's actually drawn just a fraction. Again, about a degree closed. Just finished off left to the target. And maybe it did get into my mind a little bit just talking about it so much. But it's really important to take this to heart, to realize that you have the ability to make these micro adjustments subconsciously and not consciously. So give yourself a chance. So remember, we're asking ourselves 3 questions. Where on the club face did you strike it? Looking at these, a couple of them were a little bit out the toe. That's really not going to affect a 6-iron direction too much. It would affect a driver more with gear effect, which we'll talk about another day. Ask yourself, were you swinging out to in or in to out? And ask yourself the really, really important question, was the club face open at impact, was it closed at impact, or was it square at impact? These 3 factors are the only 3 factors that directly influence the direction of the golf ball, and you need to understand them. You need to understand ball flight, regardless of your handicap, and you can improve with giving yourself quality feedback and gaining greater awareness over what's causing the ball to go where it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Well, it's great to see the sun finally come out after a week of torrential rain here in Sydney and lots of flooding everywhere, but we're back in production. So there are a couple of different ways you can improve your club face control and hit those laser straight irons. If you're on the driving range and you're consistently opening the club face, then you need to investigate and experiment with different ways of closing that club face through impact. And vice versa, if you keep hitting hooks, then you've got to learn how to open the club face. But if you're on the golf course, then it is just a case of trusting the swing that you have on the day and giving yourself feedback. Don't tinker with that club face consciously. Trust your subconscious mind to do the best you can on that day and then get back to the range when you have your next chance. We look forward to being back with you next week. Are you the best golfer you can be?